not a try, that's a miracle.
You can take me now. I have seen it all.
Welcome back to the Gone for 10 show. We're talking about round 19, but like we promised on the last episode, we are going to add another segment into this show. We're going to call it the play on or it's a penalty. Quite simply, what's going to happen is Baxter, myself, we're going to come up with topics each week. We're going to debate them. It might be something as crazy that you think, why are they even debating this? But that doesn't matter. We're going to put it up here. If we agree with it, we're going to say it's play on. We're going to say why. If we disagree with it, obviously it's a penalty. It's on report and you can go for 10 if you don't agree with it. So, Baxter, we're going to start off, obviously, with something, I guess, probably one of the easiest topics to debate in today's day, because I know me and you already don't see eye to eye when it comes to this. And it is, number one, the state of origin debate. Now, should you, if you play for state of origin, have to represent Australia? Is that, obviously from your standpoint, is that a penalty or is it play on?
Nah, play on. Like, you can choose to play for Australia, but if you don't get picked, then you can take up the option if you have that option to go play elsewhere. So I'm happy for that, but Australia should be first.
I'm blowing a penalty. I don't believe that should be a rule. I think state of origin, it's right there in the title. It's where you're born. It's not about where you're playing football. Let's go back to the roots. If you're born in New South Wales, I don't care who you play for. You're playing for New South Wales. If you're born in Queensland, you're playing for Queensland. And you know what? If you want to go represent a country that has your heritage, go for it. But I think it needs to be state of origin, back to the ground, back to your roots. You're born in New South Wales, you play for New South Wales. You're born in Queensland, you play for Queensland. All right. I'll let you introduce the second one. It is your one. I'll let you introduce it, and I'll go first on that one.
Obviously, you and I, we like another sport called soccer, and everybody plays twice. So I think maybe the NRL should open up to play everybody twice. Obviously, now that with the 17th team coming in, it now opens it up from 24 to 32 games. So that's an extra, off the top of my head, eight rounds now. Maybe the NRL looks at dropping top 8 to top 6. State of Origin 2 is not played on a Sunday night, so you gain an extra week there, and you have to play an extra month of football. I don't think it's bad for the fans. So what do you reckon, Tony? Is it penalty or play on here?
I'm going to go play on here. I think every year we look at this draw when it comes in, and the experts, the armchair experts, everyone that follows rugby league or watches rugby league sits down and goes, this team got the favourable draw. Look how many hard teams this has to play. They have to play this team twice, but they have to play, no disrespect, the Tigers once, for example, the Tigers twice. I think the only way you're going to make it fair is to obviously sit down. Everyone plays everyone twice. You play them once home, once away. End of discussions. Everyone's got the same draw. So that's a play on call for me.
You got.
What are your thoughts on that? Obviously, you're going to give your call. What are your thoughts on that?
I've brought it up, so I'm with agreeing with you. I think we should have it to 32 matches next year. I like it because then you can't say then sort of the stipulation with the Penrith Panthers in 2020 when they had that easier run. No one can actually say, "Oh, well, you had an easy run to the final." And as you said, like you can say, "Oh, you play the Tigers twice, you play the Dogs or the Titans," so everybody's the same. So play on.
100%. Now, I'm going to change my hat for this, and you'll see why. We are talking about Magic Round. We're talking about that game. It's in, obviously, Brisbane. The main thing I'm bringing up, and I'm going to call play on, I think that this needs to happen, especially to say thank you. But should Magic Round from 2024 onwards, Suncorp obviously has it for next year, but should Magic Round from 2024 onwards go to the New Zealand Warriors, at least for a year or two, to say thank you for everything they did to keep the league running?
Yeah, I think it should. As you said, saying thank you for the 2 years the New Zealand Warriors put up here in Australia. So I think it's something, whatever it is, the NRL needs to give something back. And if it is this Magic Round, say, for the next 3 years, you've got it, Auckland, Wellington, and, Christchurch, for instance. Give it back to them.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, like I said, I am play on there. And I think the biggest thing is we saw what they did with the Auckland Lions. We saw the hype around that Auckland Lions. We know they can run a tournament. So I think it's safe to say that if we give it to New Zealand, especially for the next 2 to 3 years, they're going to take it on board. They're going to turn it into something amazing. But we will jump into the last one now. I don't know what your answer is going to be to this. You don't know what my answer is because we've only just brought this up a couple minutes ago. And I guess it's a topic that if it happens to your team, you're all for it. If it goes against your team, you absolutely hate it. But should the bunker be able to rule on a forward pass if it goes upstairs? Yes or no? Play on or penalty?
Nah, penalty. Nah, it shouldn't be allowed. I think they do a great job. The officials, as it is right now, calling the offside, the forward pass. Sorry, and not many tries actually do end up going forward that cost you a try in a dying moments of a game. So penalty, keep it out, and yeah.
I'm going play on. I'm going as far as calling this one a 6 again. I want to repeat. I want it looked at. There's been games, and again, you want to use, I guess you could say Origin. Queensland got that try scored. They called it back for a forward pass. Joey Johns swore blind that it went flat. So it's one of those things where we might say right now it hasn't
Flat.
determined the game. But if you
Yeah.
were to look at games every week, there's games where tries go in or teams get the advantage or teams get the upper hand where it's a clear forward pass. Now, I think it's a bit, and let me get this right, it's a bit hard because the rules are it might come out of my hands and go backwards, then it floats forward. I think, you know what?
Yeah.
We've got the line. We see it in VAR. We've talked about how we watch soccer, or I like to call it football. We do watch that. We've got the VAR line. If I throw a ball, it has to go backwards. That's how simple it is. So I'm saying play on, 6 again, whatever you want to call it. We're going forward, and I think the bunker needs to start ruling on a forward pass. But obviously, that one is up for debate. So are the other 3 that we did talk about. We will chuck these on our Instagram stories. The first one we kind of already did, and I believe from memory it was a 9-8 vote in favor of let them play for whoever they want after Origin. But we will chuck the other 3 up there. We will get the results, and we will report those when we come back into, obviously, our review of round 19. But if you are new here, please make sure to hit like, to hit subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you thought about these topics and what you want to see debated over the next couple of weeks. But Baxter, as always, thank you for joining me, and I look forward to chatting round 19 with you very soon.